Uh, they have been holding and stealing papers since approximately ever, and they do have like the same trick regarding all situations, and apparently they are not in line with the international community about anything. They have like a lousy economy, and above that they go into basically assaulting like respectful individuals. Well, I try like to keep the same thought that I have since the day that I arrived. I arrived in here, I came out, and in the city where I was, there was like interracial fights. Uh, Sweden was in the United Nations Security Council. Well, I made myself part of that. Basically, it's like, well, when I was here and what I was doing, I was practically, I had like, I had like diplomatic immunity or like just immunity basically. I remember I have been busy. When I had like the chance to write something about it, I wrote something about it. There are like some experiences that are basically hard to erase from someone's memory. I thought I would basically move basically to Britain or to Canada basically into doing like what I did while I was like discussing things with the United States. But like you can see the amount of criminality, the high level of a lot of things basically, and I remember all the achievements that I reached, and then I landed in this country. There was like a prime minister who had a problematic with with me being against like child abuse, female abuse, and all of those other things. And practically the feeling is like I didn't protect the person that I know or the acquaintance that I know, but I rather have faced revenge because some individuals are racist about that matter. And these individuals kept on playing like a lot of games since my arrival, and there's like 99% chance that my documents were in their possession at a certain time, at a certain hour, that people came in here, visited and submitted things. Apparently there is problematic about being discreet about who visited, as well as a lot more. And well, basically it's like being imprisoned for having like values, Fortunately, I know how to say public bodies in several European countries. I remember the people that I did the work with. I kept my focus on that. I tried not to shift it away. I took like a long period of time to focus on my career because I didn't have any income, and up until today I still do not have. Like, my apologies to everyone. The work on resolving climate change problematic is exclusively my work. There are like 12 levels before that. Climate action is not one. The climate action is me, that I have been part of that, and there have been like individuals that I say is like filled with hatred and jealousy. I fought that. I managed basically to send something to Austria, and then the lady from Austria told me, we have received insults from your part. There was like electronic jammings and all other things, and basically it's like to keep the same to keep basically the same mentality and the same stereotypes. the same mentality and the same stereotypes about everything. And the national team plays, and apparently there was a lot of revengeful actions about a comment that I said. I wrote all those feelings. It's a situation which is, how to state it accurately, which is unfair, unjust, and very, very much abnormal. But I keep on having basically to face this type of things on a daily basis. Apparently, those people who came are open-minded, believing that the person that I met will deliver my property, my money, or anything to them. This basically didn't happen, and there's no smile, and there is no other things, and all of those stuff have happened, and it's like a time zone where I pass, where things are, where like there is respect, like for Rome Statute article and the European Convention of Human Rights article. Before that, well, there was like just being like people like humming around, and apparently everyone is like faking every one of my writings and every one of my works to please a wife about achievements that they had nothing to do with, to basically prove themselves right. And there's like a ton of reasons, and no, there's like in no way that I'm protected by any society. I've spoken with all the members of my family. They said no, there was no visitors, nobody give us your money, and there was nothing else. Basically, it's like there are like a lot of reunions when people like commit like acts of basically like of sexual abuse and other types of abuses. And I'm like in a society, I don't know. It's like even when I left in 2014 or in 2013, I still had my work at the Millennium Development Goals. And even with that, it's like everything is atrocious. It's like everything is bad. I go and I ask around. Well, my property should have traveled physically, either through a security post or through a postal service or through a thing. And in 2018, I was saying that people with the postal services had problems. Apparently, they believe that a member of my family will give me like earnings which are mine. Basically, if there's like medallion, Nobel Peace Prize medallions, and I make like a lot of videos, I would have made videos that I have it around my neck, as well as a lot more. However, what they did is like 40 people actually grouped up, and they say that each one of them have done this type of achievement. And the thing about military awards is like it's structured. It doesn't come just like that. It's like it's structured. There's like some sort of like a Fibonacci number, or like some sort of division, or like some sort of rationality into delivering something. It's like and it all depends on the two first ones that you got, and then it depends on the circumstances. It doesn't just arise like that. And I've seen individuals just claiming to make hypotheses that we were individuals working against ISIL, and it came from that. The people that I know are like yes, and this is very, very much abnormal. Then it was much more discreet, and there are like a lot of problems and a lot of problematics, and apparently it's like I do feel like I'm surrounded by like none of this is normal. And I am not erasing it from my, even like I try like to maintain like my, because like even like in 2016, because I changed my eating habits, and there was like not too much money. I still remember what I was doing like at each month of the year of 2016, when there is like solution on climate change and like being surrounded by like some sort of an oil petroleum like community. It became very much difficult, and the thoughts have somehow changed, and it feels like it's a fight to keep like my identity and myself and what I have done in the past. The thing is that I don't have like the muscular strength now. I need to acquire it. I do have like the intellectual ability, but I don't have like the muscular strength for that. When it came time like to chase, basically like to find some specific person, I think I'm just verifying each and every day that they are basically in a safe location, and I use like a lot of contacts just to put them there. And I noticed something is that they have become like extremely fat in one of the videos, and that's suspect that they were like in some sort of a fatty water, or like they went to the beach up over there or something. Apparently there's like this situation is like nothing happened, but like well, when I tried like to be like some sort of professional, I came like with my humanitarian background, but I'm also here with my basically intellectual ability, skills, and cruelty in business. And I understand how basically to spend the business or the economics into areas that it match my values. My working strength, I went to knock on like there's like the department of like it's like the SWAT team, and there's like the chief of the SWAT team over there, and I have visited him on September 11th at 4 p.m. And then there's like those people who still behave very childishly. There's the thing of being humanitarian, and there's like a thing of asking other individuals to be like sponsors, or like to make like some sort of a startup. However, the individuals who just basically like stole my money, and well, I'm actually displeased about the situation. I did not ask any member of my family basically like to open up shops up there in the street, and I visited the legal bodies, and it's really astonishing, and I cannot say that people that are in writing have committed. It's simply like when I visited the legal system and how someone can basically like acquire his property legally. We are in October 2019, the end of October 2019. These are the numbers: $0, 0 letters, hacked emails, disappearance of acquaintances. They send them to few UN members, or few like former diplomats, or like the children of the political and military class of this country. And apparently they don't view me as like some sort of a high-ranking member of this country. And apparently they send them, and they basically strengthen it, how to say, they strengthen the people, they strengthen basically like the bad people. That was really uncalled for. It's not like a losing fight. I can like make like a draw or something like that, because well, there's something not right about the entire situation. Probably since September 2017, October 2017. I didn't think that my actions of 2017 has somehow problematic. I had like a quest like in some kind of departments, and up until today I'm just fatty. I didn't bit like I'm having like a lack of muscular structure, and the problems that I had with my neurological systems are increasing, but they are like extremely bad.